So what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video where I talk about everything interesting to me in the world of technology. Let's get started off with Samsung and Apple going at it again. You know, these lawsuits are going to continue as these two companies just hate each other apparently. And this lawsuit has to do with synchronizing media through different devices such as music, video, and photos. Now this is a common task that a lot of people like to do. So Samsung says they own the rights to that. And then the other thing is transmitting video after you record it on a mobile device. Apparently you send it over the internet and that violates Samsung's patent. All I know is that these lawsuits are getting ridiculous. I know Samsung deserves their time, you know, to go after Apple because of what Apple did to them. So it's a point counterpoint. I don't want to see either company suing each other instead of making new products. That's the way I look at it. I'm a consumer. I don't want to deal with your lawsuits so a product gets banned. But the one thing is that Apple continues to win these lawsuits. So unless we get some reform, we're just going to have these stories over and over again. So there's a side story to this. This guy, Judge Richard Posner, he was the one who threw out the Apple, Google, Motorola case. He just said it was enough is enough, and neither company has a right to be going after each other, and he just threw the case out, which I found pretty interesting because it shows that someone actually acknowledges that we need reform in the patent system. So this guy went on to write a blog posting about this whole situation and how changes need to be made, and that way we don't have these companies going after each other. But the part I didn't agree with him about was when he talked about the time it takes for a software development team to create these features. It takes time and money, and he was diminishing the value, and I don't agree with that. So what this tells me is, again, generation gap. Listen, no other way to say it. He's a pretty old guy. I don't think that you should have people like this in charge of the technology patent lawsuits. It's just my personal opinion. Yes, maybe he can judge on other things, but this stuff is complicated, and I have to say, you need experts. For someone who judges on this stuff to say, well, the time and the value is less than other industries. Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. This totally reminds me of how people look at websites. You know, like I've said before, I work on websites, so when people ask for a change or something, sometimes they understand the value and the time, but other times they're like, oh, you could just click over here and just get it done. No, that's not the way it works. And that's the way people look at the industry. It's a technology industry that not everyone gets. So I feel we need more expertise, get rid of all the little nuances. Come on, do you really think Apple should own the right to entering an email address or someone's contact information in a mobile device? Makes no sense. So they shouldn't have been authorized to get that patent. And then anything else going on, we really should just have some line of panel experts or whoever it is. They're the ones who should talk to the judges or give their information. Let the judge decide then and have it that way. These patent lawsuits are like the government giving these patents out like hotcakes. They don't even care. They just say, oh, here. Oh, you want to enter an address in a phone? Okay, have a patent for that. I mean, how is that possible? So we really need to change that part. But as far as the value behind all this, these people who put products together, software, you know, hardware, whatever it is, I do think they should have their time valued. They do deserve patents. You can't compare it to other industries and then say, well, they can always make a new feature and it's easy for them. No, it's not a standard practice to make a feature. Would you ask somebody on the street, hey, can you make a feature for a piece of software or even work on a website? If you think it's that easy, then there wouldn't have been value to all this stuff and these products wouldn't be selling for so much money. And yes, a couple $100s for a phone is a good chunk of money for a phone compared to what it costs to actually make it. So they deserve the rights to make their money and have features on the phone and actually get paid for it, whether it be the company and the software developers, you know, people who manufacture, the designers. You know, these people deserve to be compensated and they should have the rights protected. I agree with that. But as far as the simplistic features such as like entering information to a phone, like certain information, no, you shouldn't have the right to own that. And in fact, when this unified search issue came up with Apple, nobody even looked into it that Google has unified search in their search engine. So why wouldn't they be allowed to use that for their phone? These kind of things need to be talked about. Those are the issues. The problems with the patent system is people not understanding the technology that's being used. So let's start there. Let's not say people shouldn't get compensated fairly. Even the people who work for Apple, the designers, they have a right to be protected for the design for their phone. They deserve that right. I don't like Apple, but you know what? They should get compensated for what they did and what they created. Now, for what they didn't create and what's not their ideas, those are the things that need to be talked about, and the patent system does not take care of those issues. We also have news about the iPad mini that should be coming out this month. You saw what they did with the iPhone 5. They stretch out the screen to catch up with their competitors. Now an iPad mini is just a reflection of what's going on in the market. You have the Galaxy Nexus and you have the Samsung Tab. So there's other companies doing these things already. If Apple can win these lawsuits and then create what their competitors are doing already and actually just outsell them, that's one way to go about your business. But the other thing is that the innovation is being held back, and I don't really feel Apple is in an innovative mode. So even with the iPad mini, it's not something new to the technology world. It's really just Apple who's holding themselves back. Suing the other competitors, mimicking what everyone else is doing is not really the answer. Just create new ideas, do what you've done before, establish yourself again in the market. You've done it already before. You did it with MP3 players, you did it with smartphones. You guys can really establish yourselves, but these lawsuits are just dumb because you're going backwards. What are you gonna do? You're gonna copy what everyone else is doing? It's not interesting and it's not innovative. So you guys can tell me what you think. Put a comment down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers.